supposed to talk for Casey also. Casey, we've known each other for a long time. A real long time. And I can't remember the name of the camp, but it's near Tuscaloosa where you got lost the first time. He just never knew where he was. Casey can talk. And talk. And talk. One night we were in a little room. Everybody, some people laying on the ground sleeping, some people laying on top of the table sleeping, some people laying on top of the table talking. And I remember having to threaten you to quiet up. He was always a jokester. He always had life in Casey. And Casey doesn't do much in life. This past year, senior class president in the band, the attorneys thing, which I never can get the name of it, what is it called? Mock trial. And I don't know if anybody knows, he's got a CD out there in the world. He's got a CD with 8 songs on it. Listen to 94.7 on Tuesday nights between 7 and 8. And Mr. Sturkin from Center of Performing Arts will probably play him. And if he gets a text from a friend, he'll definitely play him. And I know Robert because he's in the building next door to my office. I'm gonna brag about you just a little bit here on this. Robert has said that he doesn't come around musicians in his life very much that has it all together. But Casey does. Casey produced every single instrument, every word, everything on this CD. And Robert told me, he said, usually I have to tweak it with the synthesizer and all that. There's nothing to worry about. You talented. And I got CD number 74 out of 100 that's signed by Casey. And I listen to it quite often. It's beautiful. If you haven't listened to it, you need to. There are many times that you weren't sure if you were going to make it through scouting. A lot of times it's because you were so busy doing something else. You stayed busy all the time. Your mom and your dad drove you around all over the place. You going to Washington to protest for March of Dimes, all kinds of things. There is no grass growing underneath your feet. But I remember toward the end, you were nervous that you were not going to make it. And I think I had threatened you a few times. Something about my foot. Well, right after you did your Eagle project, I'm trying to get to my personal messages. You did a beautiful project in Avita, landscaping that parking lot for the public. And then I went to your house because you were trying to finish up your cooking merit badge. And now that's a requirement for Eagle Scouts. But he's the only scout so far that I had first taught cooking merit badge about 4 or 5 years ago to, that actually cooked something and delivered it to me. And it was good. And like I said, he was nervous. I got my glasses on to read this. His mother, Stacy, sent me a little note. I'm not going to read the whole thing because some of it's about me. I'll find the part that I need here. You said that you were nervous. And let's see. I should have had it read here. Let's see. I would never forget, this is from Stacy. I would never forget when Casey was seriously doubting himself and floundering about whether or not if he even deserved to be an Eagle Scout, because he was convinced he put off what he needed to do for too long and was incredibly overwhelmed with what it would take to accomplish this. As I tried reverse psychology to get him to understand that he indeed could do this and would someday regret it terribly if he did not, he said to me, You know what's the worst part of this, Mom? I don't want to disappoint you or Dad, but I really, really don't want to disappoint Mr. Randy.
True.
You have never disappointed me. You have always shined. And you, after becoming an Eagle Scout, I heard from somebody back here that you actually came back to the troop, to a meeting, and said, what can I do to help the younger Scouts? That's what Scouting is all about. Just because you get your Eagle Merit Badge, all four of y'all, Scouting is not over. This is something that will stay with you the rest of your life. Stand tall with what y'all have accomplished. It takes a lot to get to where y'all all are. Be proud of it. Never hide that you're an Eagle. You soar high. Be thankful that you were able to do it. Be thankful that God gave y'all the ability to do what y'all done. But stand tall. Y'all did this. None of us parents could help you. None of us leaders can make it work for you unless y'all wanted to get to this point. Y'all need to be proud of yourselves and stand tall. Robbie, you can kneel and still stand tall. Y'all are fabulous. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, Randy. Next, I'd like to call up, Jacob Hunter, brother. I'm sorry. Who would like to call Scott Hunter?